involved two white vehicles, two Kias, one SUV, one white Kia sedan. A short while later, that vehicle was spotted on Lowry near Northeast. Shortly thereafter, the vehicle was again spotted by Minneapolis 4th Precinct officer, and a vehicle pursuit began. That pursuit continued for about 6 to 7 minutes until it ended at this bus stop behind me. Right before coming up to the bus stop, the pursued vehicle did strike one other vehicle. Thankfully, no one was injured, and then it crashed into the bus stop. There were two people waiting for the bus when that car crashed here, and thankfully they were not injured as a result of that accident. 4 individuals fled from the vehicle. 3 of the 4 have been arrested. All 3, we believe, are juveniles. This incident here today underscores a problem that we've seen over the weekend. Over this weekend, we had a robbery spree, driven by juveniles, armed at gunpoint. And like the car that was recovered here, and the second vehicle that was with it that managed to get away, it was juveniles driving stolen cars. There's one handgun that was recovered at the scene here. Over the weekend, there were 46 violent crimes reported in Minneapolis. 70% of those were robberies. And we believe from just this weekend, at least 14 of these robberies at gunpoint were committed by juveniles. So we are not certain for sure. The suspects we have under arrest are also part of the same crew that committed the robberies over this weekend. But obviously, with the circumstances, with the MO being very similar, we suspect that may be the case. This arrest was made here because the MPD responded immediately to this robbery spree as it was happening. We devoted resources, proactive resources, to go out and try and stop this problem. I'm thankful that these arrests were made. However, now, particularly since they're juveniles, we need the rest of the system to do their part to ensure that there is accountability over this. These robberies that have been happening are absolutely outrageous. One victim reported to the police this weekend that they heard a click from the gun, as if the gun, the trigger had been pulled and they were being robbed. It's absolutely terrifying. Another victim was injured in their mouth because one of the suspects put the gun in their mouth and then injured them, taking it out while they're being robbed. So this behavior is absolutely outrageous, but we want the community to know the MPD is responding. We may be short-staffed, but we are doing everything possible to stop this and to bring these offenders to justice. It's important for people to know that property can be replaced. We want people to be safe. At the same time, what people can do if you find yourself in this situation is to be as good of a witness as possible. Be as observant as you can about the individuals that are there, what they're wearing, what they look like. Try and get a license plate of a vehicle that's involved. But the number one priority is your own safety. And remember that property can be replaced. Are there any questions?
So one car got away in this one?
So there are actually 2 vehicles involved in the robbery this morning. Well, not even this morning, just an hour or 2 ago. And they're actually both fleeing from the officer in tandem. And then one of the vehicles eventually did break. So we believe there's at least one other suspect at large that was in this vehicle and 4 other individuals at large that were in the second vehicle. And we know, vehicle pursuits are dangerous. They're dangerous for the community. They're dangerous for the officers that are pursuing. But in a situation like this where people are being robbed at gunpoint, their lives are being threatened, it's a balance and it's a decision that needs to be made to try and stop these things from happening before somebody gets killed. But it's important for people to know that we're doing everything that we can to respond to it, to hold folks accountable. While we're here, since this morning, a number of our investigators have been meeting intelligence folks and trying to do the best they can to develop further information to aid in the prosecution and identification of the other individuals that have been involved in these robberies.
We've seen task forces before in town. Are you doing anything specific on the juvenile end? I mean, because this just seems so completely out of control.
Yeah, the juvenile end is tough. We have a lot of work going on around violent crime, dealing with a else, particularly on the federal level, federal law enforcement. Unfortunately, with juveniles, the federal government has no jurisdiction. So, while we are working every day with the county sheriff's office, the violent offender task force, they are out here every day with us trying to address this problem as well. It's not something that we can use as we've been addressing with other shooters, other folks illegally carrying guns.
So as far as all the other burglaries, robberies that happened, there were no arrests in any of those over the weekend?
I do not believe so. I can confirm that. But I mean, I don't think so. I'm talking about this particular pattern that we have, juveniles being involved. No. The answer to that is no. But I'm not sure if there was maybe a one-off